How did San Diego come about?
Well, ever since I joined back in 2000, I've been trying to get the meeting back here to San Diego. We always go different locations all over the country, trying to make it easy for all of our publishers, small through large, to make it easy for their travel. So a hotel room right here on the beautiful Mission Bay, we could get for $159. So that was really excellent. Chris did a great job looking at several hotels, and to get this catamaran right here, it was next to Mission Bay, 2 blocks we're over at the ocean. It's been wonderful. So I'm happy to bring our members here and glad to see we had a great turnout.
What's digital publishing? What does that encompass today? And so we started out with a few ideas up here: websites, digital magazines, electronic newsletters, blogs, vlogs, press releases, social media, video, white papers, webinars, mobile, and there's probably a lot more. How many people are doing electronic newsletters? Pretty good crowd. How do you get the photos, the video, the interview, write the article, take the, the pictures? I mean, how do you do all that? And tweet about it, about your blog that you just videoed. Thank you.
I truly believe across the country that the way magazines are delivered potentially is going to change. I think we all understand that. But what is a digital edition, a website, an app? What is it always going to need? Content. Great content. It's always going to need advertising, and it's always going to mean it needs layout. So the only people that need to be worried are printers, right? Well, remember something. Printers are smart cats, too. That's why they're getting into the digital space. Is that if you have 6 things to share, I'm going to send it in 6 separate emails over the course of the conversation. Why do I want to do that? Because I want to actively be re-engaging their brain, because on the other end of the phone, they're doing what? Checking their email.
Just interesting to hear what everybody else is doing, and to feel like you're not alone. We've been doing e-newsletters and redoing our websites to provide more material, more educational information to our members for about 3 or 4 years. But we're venturing now into digital magazines, and with some, trepidation, not knowing whether our readers will follow us. And it's just interesting to hear what everybody else is doing and what they're thinking about.
Tell me, what's the first thing you're going to do using his tips when you get back home?
Oh gosh, I'm going to relook at my Facebook. Number 1, add those tabs like he was talking about. I love that idea. And yeah, the different ways that you can financially benefit as well. So I'm not very good at charging people for things. So
I guess I'm excited to go and explore some of the ideas that some of the other magazines and AHP members are doing in there. I mean, I'm a little naive to what some of the other equine publications are doing outside of the harness racing industry, so it was great that way, because it really, you get a sense for all these things that people are juggling. They're doing, video and blogging and tweeting and doing all these things, and so there's lots to explore that way. So I think a lot of value in, wow, people are really trying to take on this technology and find their niche in it and really reach their audience better.
For those that aren't here, what are they missing?
Oh gosh, so much information, meeting really interesting people that you can sort of validate what you're doing, learn new things, people you can teach if you're doing something right, and I'm doing a couple of things right, so that's nice. Catching up with people I met last year and seeing where we both are. I met a gal last year who was thinking about creating an iPhone app. She showed it to me this year, she got it done, it's really cool, so it's neat.
You want to draw a line from the hip. Okay, you draw a line from the outside of the hip and it goes down You don't want the hawks to be out behind that line. That shows a very weak hind leg.
In the same vein, don't give yourself away. Remember, you start out with all the rights to your image. And the way you make money with this image is you sell one bundle of rights to Pat for his magazine, another bundle of rights to a client here, a third bundle of rights to a client here, a fourth bundle of rights to a client here. It's like a bundle of sticks. You can divide it up however you want.
We so often think that we have to light the subject so that we see everything. But one of my favorite charts are taking pictures in barns where you can have the barn open in the back and you get the lighting from the back, and then you can sort of set up that feeling of something that just speaks.
One of the things we did is updated it to a Joomla site.
They've always gone somewhere else for tech and equipment, and they always go to us for supplements and really aren't aware that we have all of this stuff, so just making them aware of that.
Here's the crap that I really don't want to waste paper on,
right.
And I could put it online, and I can get something really meaty and cool, and I can put it in a book that's going to be there forever.
Other sidebars and background things, or directories, or list of resources, or whatever. Drive to the web, and then the web, we use our web to drive to print, and we're driving constantly back and forth, back and forth. And it's been great. I love the flexibility it gives me as a publisher.
And then you can take the bigger story, or you can go underneath and you can dig down and have a feature out of it that brings it back to the book. Yep. And then once you're there, bring that back and put a follow-up online. Yep. So you just create this endless circle.
Basically selecting a camera. I think the first thing you need to do is think about your budget. So like he was saying, you could have a cheaper camera, or if you have a ton of money and you're going to use this all the time, go for something more expensive. I will show up on a story. I attached a little $11 tripod and literally shoot breaking news with this. And I now work for an online news organization. And I also purchased a more expensive camera. I got this one off Craigslist to use for about $1,000. And for me, that's a lot of money to spend on the camera, but it really just depends on your budget.
Do you have any suggestions for action videography? Because we've talked about something as simple as flip cam, do something more expensive, and the 3 or 4 options in between that we've laid out. If they're just as examples, but what are your suggestions there?
If you're looking at shooting action photography, the flip cams are great for interviews. They're great for kind of general crowd shots. They're not so good for chasing action around, mainly because of the limited zoom functionality. I mean, if you're at a horse arena and you've got a horse on the other side, you're not going to have the time to run around and go and get them.
Yeah, shooting a Canon video.
If there's multiple runs, for example, shoot one time, it's all stills, shoot one time, all video. For example, something that I've always used to do in show jumping a lot is I'll take stills of every single person when they're, let's say, a Grand Prix show jumping event. I'll take stills of every single rider as they're going. Because that way you have a picture of the winning horse and rider no matter what, if you shoot the entire competition. But then when it comes to the jump off, I'll exclusively shoot video because I already got a still.
Our new president, Cheryl Erpelding, will be announcing the winners, and the immediate past president, Sandy Kucharski, will present the awards. They are in reverse order, beginning with honorable mention. And now I'm going to drink my wine. Okay, let's go. This is a long night, and I will go as fast as I can and hope to not mess up any names. First place, the Florida Horse, We Got Game, John Filler, Michael Compton, Editor-in-Chief. ChronicleTheHorse.com, 2010, Altec, FBI, World Equestrian Games, Sterilizer, Kate Nessler, Molly Swords, Molly Bailey, Lisa Slate. I'll go back if you want.
We're going to Williamsburg, Colonial Williamsburg in Virginia. That's going to be pretty exciting. It'll be very hot and humid, but don't mind that. We'll have lots of fun, cool things to do to keep us cool, lots of great learning experience, evolving in the digital world. I highly recommend it. I guarantee you're going to meet someone that's going to help your business grow. It's totally worth figuring out how to get that time off, how to get out there. It'll pay you back 1,000 times, I guarantee it.
Good day, friends and countrymen. I wish to bid you welcome on behalf of all of the citizens of Williamsburg to the place where American citizenship was invented. By way of polite introduction, my name is Henry, Patrick Henry Jr., your servant, first governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia.
And my pleasure to introduce myself, Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson, the second elected governor of our Commonwealth.
And a very worthy successor, too. Mr. Jefferson and I have worked hand in glove over these last several years into establishing a bold new experiment, a new republic.
Oh, it was right here in this city that I was inspired by the speech-making of Mr. Henry. In fact, our Declaration of American Independence, let alone the resolution for independence in Philadelphia, could have never happened without what occurred right here in Williamsburg.
Absolutely so, Mr. Jefferson. It was here, after all, that this bold experiment of an American republic was first conceived. We began to speak with one collective voice back in '65 when we rallied against the hated Stamp Act.
And the hospitality of our taverns accompanied all of it. We welcome you here to experience the fine food, let alone the fine wine, and yes, Mr. Henry, I know your pleasure, the fine beer that continues to be offered in our colonial capital.
Indeed. As Williamsburg is no longer the capital of Virginia, it remains the capital of hospitality. I should wish you to see it for yourself.
We welcome you all to enjoy the hospitality, let alone the history of Williamsburg, our nation's capital, our home place.
Come join us.